Welcome back. Only a few years ago, the music recording industry was hit by a train it didn't see coming. The business of selling music on CDs was practically wiped out by online file sharing. Now, some people say the book publishing industry is on the same path. Joining us via Skype is Kevin Lim, a PhD candidate specializing in cyberculture at the University of Buffalo. So the music and film industries missed the boat with downloading. Is it going to be the same thing with books?
Well, looks like eBooks are actually really catching on right now. We've heard about so many publishers actually hopping on board with Amazon Kindle and so on. So we're starting to really see interesting things develop right now.
Why is selling ebooks taking a while to figure out, though? It looks like it's not catching on as fast as digital music, for example.
I think that's a very, very good question. A lot of us have been wondering why ebooks are taking so long. It's just text and images as compared to, let's say, audio, music audio, or even movies. And I think the real reason why is because it's the aesthetic experience of reading. Music, be it on a gramophone, on a CD, or on an iPod, sounds the same. It's experienced the same way. As for movies, for instance, we are used to watching it on a screen. And so, however it translates to, even if it's smaller, it's still the same.
This is people's love affair with the book, right? The actual holding the book. Right.
So far, digital technology, electronics, haven't really mimicked the experience of reading a book in a very absolute way. But that's not to say that even though it doesn't replicate the book's features fully, it doesn't mean that ebooks aren't here to stay. Ebooks have so many additional features that paper books just don't have. For example, searching, or having the ability to store and bring along tons of books, your entire library collection with you. Those features are really key.
What about the publishers starting to, there are a lot of publishers jumping on board all of a sudden. That must be a good sign.
Yeah, I think if we were to look at the publishing industry as a whole, there's this whole debate going on about whether or not newspapers are going to survive the turn of the decade and so on. It's a very contentious issue, and a lot of it boils back to the idea of print. Will print survive the next few years? It's hard to say. It's a highly consumable product. It's a very tangible product. A lot of people have affections for it, but at the same time, people want news and information any way possible. They want it there and then.
Who are going to be the losers here? If people all of a sudden get, Kindles or Sony's ebook, are the losers going to be bookstores, big book chains, and publishers themselves?
Well, yeah. If we were to look at how the transition from analog to digital has been going on, if we look at the music industry, ever since iTunes came around, record companies like Tower Records and so on have disappeared. And the same thing could be said about video industry as well, if we look at how Blockbuster is doing. And so it won't be too hard to assume that the bookstores might be next to go. So that's going to be pretty worrying for them.
Who's winning? Let's talk about the devices themselves. There's the Amazon Kindle, Sony's ebook, and a few other products. Who's winning, and how is the battle heating up?
Well, it sounds like those companies that produce gadgets that already have their own marketplace. For instance, Amazon is well known for selling books, amongst many other things. So it was a very natural extension for them to actually produce the Kindle. And so customers can easily, go ahead and buy the Kindle because they trust that it's a noteworthy bookstore, and so it's only natural. The same thing in a more interesting way, the iPhone seems to be catching on as well. All our mobile phone devices tend to have bigger screens now. And with internet connectivity, it means that we can easily download books that we want onto our devices and read it anywhere we want to go.
Which one of these things do you use?
Which one? Well, frankly speaking, I use both the Amazon Kindle and the iPhone. And one of the neat features about it is that the Kindle, wherever you when you reach the last page of the book that you've read, it would actually sync across to the iPhone, for instance, so that you can carry on reading from there. Much like how MP3s work nowadays, they sync across, so you can read it on any device and still continue where you left off, which is pretty cool.
We've got to run. Thank you very much for this.
Okay, no problem.
If you can't beat them, drop it. That's what Microsoft has done in Europe. Facing more antitrust suits from the juggernaut of Euro bureaucrats, Microsoft is dropping its web browser from its latest operating system, Windows 7, due out later this year. At the start of the year, the European Union said including Internet Explorer as part of Windows probably breached Europe's antitrust rules. The EU objects to how Microsoft bundles different programs in its operating system. Dropping the browser from the latest version of Windows is said to have startled European officials who were already working on a lawsuit. Have you missed any of the big business stories of the week? You can catch up this weekend with Business Weekly. On Saturday, it'll be on at 12:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., and on Sunday at 5:30 a.m. That's on CBC News World. And that's this edition of CBC News Business. I'm Fred Langen. Bye for now.